Indiana is talented enough to win the game, and Purdue's on a 3-game slide. So, and it's a rivalry game. So, if a smart person's not going to put money on it, you don't know how Indiana's going to react to this situation. They're playing at home; they could win the game, and then also Purdue's, the better team, the better coach team, but they're probably not as talented. So the game could go either way. Like it's a crapshoot. I think it's bad. It's a bad bet to put money on. And it's a rivalry game, so I could see possibly going on the under because of that. These rivalry games tend to get heated and they're physical and there's fouling and stuff like that going on. So I can see maybe a play on the under on that game. But as far as the outcome goes, I'm at this point like a lot of Indiana fans. I don't really care, to be honest. Like I'm ready for next season to see who the coach is. And yeah, I mean, the top 3 coaches that I think most people wanted right now would be like Brad Stevens, Dusty May, and Chris Beard. Those are like the 3 elite type coaches that everybody would want. One of those 3. If we get any of those 3, everyone's going to be happy. Basically, it looks like 2 of them are not in the picture at the moment. Brad Stevens supposedly is not coming, and Dusty May just signed a new contract with Michigan, so it doesn't look like he's going to end up coming as well. But Chris Beard is still on the table, but Chris Beard had an incident where he had some domestic violence type charges put on him down at Texas, and he got fired from Texas. Now, those charges were dropped, so that means neither the prosecutor or the person involved wanted to press the charges, and after the situation calmed down, the charges were dropped. So unless you're trying to hold him to a double jeopardy type standard, then that stuff should be done and over with. And then Ole Miss has hired him, right? He's working at Ole Miss. Ole Miss has done a background check on the guy, and he's obviously cleared that. And he's a good enough coach and person to be able to coach down there. So I don't see why Indiana would be too good of a place for him to be at. Some people are saying that he's not an option. He's not a starter because of the charges that were put against him. But there again, I bring up the point that, this is America. You're not supposed to be in a double jeopardy situation, basically, which means you're not supposed to be getting punished for the same thing twice, right? That's called double jeopardy. And doing that to him and denying him an opportunity just because of something that was dropped legally, yeah, I think that's pretty weak. And if you're going to go for a choir boy as the basketball coach, then you're liable to get what you ask for there, to be honest, and be back in the same situation in 4 or 5 years. So, yeah, not real optimistic on Indiana basketball at the moment, but it is what it is. I mean, it's been like 20 years of frustration. I mean, you really haven't had a great team since 2002, and it's a fan base and a university that's used to winning championships, competing at least, being in the mix, and not being anywhere close to that in the last 20 years is become frustrating. For younger fans, it's different because, they've only experienced it for a short time. But if you've been a fan since you were a kid and you're in your 40s or 50s or older, then it's getting pretty frustrating because it's been a long drought. And, they've just continued to hire the wrong coach time after time. And, hiring people for reasons that have nothing to do with basketball at times as well. Like, just go hire the best person possible is what they need to do. Someone who wants the job a little bit too, not just somebody who's coming for the money, right? Because Indiana pays really well. They're one of the, NIL wise, it's one of the strongest universities in the country. People don't realize Indiana University has like 9 satellite schools. They have a lot of other little schools out there, and they have one of the biggest alumni bases in the country as well. A lot of people go to schools named Indiana University. So, with the NIL power that they have, the war chest that they have for the money and the facilities and things like that, they should be successful. And they just got to get the right coaching here. And I know you don't follow Indiana basketball real close and stuff, which is fine, but I just want to get an opinion out there. Everyone else is putting their opinion out. Why can't I have mine out here? Right. So
that's right.
I've been watching Indiana basketball since, I was probably, 11, 12 years old with my uncle. And, it's a family thing for me. I grew up around Bloomington. I went to Bob Knight basketball camp. Like, I'm in the culture and in the life as well. So, I deserve to have opinion just like anybody. If you're going to ask me who should be the coach, I say it should be Chris Beard or Dane Fife, is my opinion. So Dane Fife was actually kind of the coach in waiting, and then Mike Woodson drove him out because he didn't like him for various reasons. And, I guess Dane Fife is stuck around Bloomington, and I'm assuming for, maybe a chance at this job. So, I think if him and Dolson, which is the athletic director there in Bloomington, if they have a good relationship, I think that's a good possibility. And I think he deserves a shot. If you're gonna go with somebody who's not like an all-star coach, a proven name, then you're gonna take a chance with somebody who's a little, a bit unknown. Then I think Dane Fife is a good choice. Wouldn't be my first choice. It wouldn't be like, my top 3 or probably 4 or 5, but just like Billy Donovan comes to mind. I don't know what he's doing right now. And the guy that used to coach Villanova, I'm having a blank right now, but he's a real good coach too. He is analyzing for like ESPN or something now. But yeah, there's a few guys. There's probably a few other guys out there I wouldn't be disappointed in if they grabbed him. But yeah, my two. I'd really like Chris Beard. He has connection to Bob Knight. He used to be a Bob Knight assistant. And then also Dane Fife as well. Just this hard, tough nosed guys who know about Indiana basketball and what the fans want and how we want the coach to act and perform. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that, man. So just wanted to vent about it just a little bit real quick.
Hey, that's so cool. Hey, that's all cool. We're getting ready to try and get into different sports as well. So that's a good way to get into it. Just a little segment there. And
yeah,
but yeah,
I got a pick of the day too, if you want that.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I got a NBA pick for today. Is the Dallas Mavericks are playing the Golden State Warriors tonight, and Klay Thompson is coming back to play at Golden State, and he's been hitting about 6 3-pointers a game against Golden State when he plays them. And right now they've got the over 2.5 3-pointers at minus 180, and they've got 3.5 3-pointers made at plus 130. I think those are either one of those would be a good bet. I think the 2.5 is starting to get a little high on the value wise for like minus 180 because it started off at minus 140 and it's got up to minus 180, which is not a good as good of a value. But having 4 3-pointers made is at plus 130, which is still a pretty good value. He's been hitting about 6. He's averaging 6 against the Warriors. So to get plus 130 at 4 3-pointers is pretty good value. So I'm going to be looking at that tonight. That's my pick of the day. I'm not going to get too crazy. Got the Indiana Purdue game today, and I don't think I'm going to put any money on that because I don't feel like, getting fooled or anything on it. You could on some of those teams you like, if you put money on them and you lose your money, it's like it's a double negative.